Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. Today, we continue our journey through the Kishkindha Kanda, a chapter rich with themes of courage, justice, and redemption. Our narrative draws deeply from Valmiki's original text and is enriched with stories from other Indian traditions, offering you a complete and immersive experience of this eternal tale. In this episode, we witness the dramatic duel between Sugreev and Bali, a clash that is more than a battle for a throne. It is a fight for dharm, honor, and justice. Along the way, we'll explore the emotions, stakes, and alliances that shape this pivotal moment in the Ramayan. So, let us step into the heart of Kishkindha and experience the fateful events that will define the future of its people and the destiny of our heroes.
As the sun rose over Mount Rishamukha, casting golden rays over the lush forests of Kishkindha, Ram and Sugreev sat together, deep in discussion. The time had come to confront Bali, but they knew this would require careful planning and strategy. Sugreev, Ram began thoughtfully, "From all that you've told me, one thing is clear: Bali cannot resist a challenge. When Dundubhi taunted him, when Ravan tested him, and when Mayavi provoked him, Bali always responded. This is his nature, driven by his pride and arrogance. If you challenge him, he will surely come to fight." Sugreev nodded, though his face was tense. "But Ram, Bali's strength is unlike any other. With the blessings he has received from Indra and Brahma, defeating him seems impossible. I fear I cannot match his might." Ram placed a steady hand on Sugreev's shoulder. "I understand your concerns, Sugreev. Bali's strength comes not only from his natural might, but also from the divine gifts he possesses. The pendant from Indra restores his energy, making him nearly invincible in battle. And the boon from Brahma ensures that half the strength of any opponent flows into him. Fighting Bali head-on would be unwise." Sugreev looked at Ram with a mix of hope and curiosity. "Then how can we succeed? Ram, how can we confront someone so blessed and powerful?" Ram's gaze was calm but resolute as he addressed Sugreev and Hanuman. "I have no intention of disrespecting the blessings of Indra and Brahma. To challenge Bali directly would be to dishonor the divine gifts bestowed upon him. Instead, we will use strategy. You will challenge Bali as you have done before, drawing him out into the open. I will remain at a distance, unseen, and when the moment is right, I will strike him down with my bow and arrow." Sugreev and Hanuman exchanged glances, their expressions filled with curiosity and doubt. Hanuman, ever loyal but analytical, voiced the question lingering in their minds. "Ram, Bali is not an ordinary Vana. With blessings from Indra and Brahma, his strength is unmatched. Can your arrows pierce the protection bestowed upon him by these divine powers?" Before Ram could respond, Lakshman, who had been silently observing the conversation, stepped forward. His voice carried confidence and reverence as he began to explain. "Do not underestimate my brother's strength and divine blessings," he said. "Ram once broke the bow Pinaka, the celestial weapon of Lord Shiv, a feat no one else could achieve. It was after this that Parshuram, the great warrior sage, recognized Ram's divinity and gifted him Saranga, the mighty bow of Vishnu. With Saranga in hand, no blessing or boon stands unbreakable before him." Lakshman continued, his words filling the air with awe. "Moreover, Ram has been blessed with divine weapons from the great sage Agastya, including the celestial arrow that cannot miss its target. He and I have received the blessings of countless sages across this land, from sage Vashisht, our family guru, to the mighty Vishwamitra, who taught us the use of celestial weaponry. These blessings, coupled with Ram's unmatched virtue and strength, make him more than capable of confronting Bali." Sugreev and Hanuman listened intently, their doubts slowly easing. Yet, Hanuman, wise as always, posed a final question. If Ram possesses such strength and divine power, why not challenge Bali directly and honorably? Why choose this strategy? Ram's expression softened, and his voice carried both wisdom and humility. Hanuman, strength is not just in action, but in knowing when and how to act. Bali's blessings are divine, and I have no desire to challenge or disrespect them. To confront him directly would risk dishonoring the very gifts given by the gods. Our goal is not merely to defeat Bali, but to restore dharm, to do what is right without upsetting the cosmic balance. Strategy and restraint are just as important as courage and strength in fulfilling our duty. The group nodded in agreement, their confidence in Ram reaffirmed. It was not just Ram's strength or divine blessings that inspired them, but his unwavering commitment to righteousness which guided every decision he made. Sugreev hesitated. But Ram, isn't it unfair to attack him from a distance? What will people say about such a fight? Ram's voice grew firm, though his tone remained compassionate. Sugreev, this is not about fairness. It is about restoring dharm. Bali has violated the principles of justice by exiling you, taking your wife, and ruling with arrogance. This is not a battle of equals. It is a fight to correct a grave imbalance. I will act as an instrument of justice, not as a rival seeking personal glory. Sugreev listened intently, the weight of Ram's words sinking in. He realized that this was not just his fight, but a battle for righteousness. With the strategy agreed upon, Sugreev's role became clear. He would descend to Kishkindha and issue a direct challenge to Bali, taunting him to come and fight. Ram would remain hidden at a vantage point, bow in hand, watching for the perfect moment to act. Sugreev, Ram said as they prepared to part ways, remember, you are not alone in this. This is a battle for justice, and dharm is on your side. Stand firm, and trust that together we will prevail. Sugreev drew strength from Ram's words. Accompanied by Hanuman, he began his descent from Mount Rishamukha, his mind focused on the challenge ahead. As they approached the gates of Kishkindha, Sugreev's heart raced, but his determination burned brighter than ever. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of two brothers and the destiny of Kishkindha itself. As Sugreev entered the gates of Kishkindha, his voice rang out across the city like a thunderclap. Bali, come out and face me. It is time to settle our score. Your reign of arrogance and injustice ends today. The Vanars in the bustling streets paused, their eyes widening in shock. Sugreev, the exiled prince, had returned with a fire in his voice that they hadn't heard in years. Whispers spread like wildfire. Sugreev has come back. What is he planning? Does he have someone powerful backing him? Inside the grand palace, Bali lounged on his throne, flanked by his loyal attendants. When Sugreev's challenge reached his ears, he let out a derisive laugh. Sugreev dares to challenge me? He said, his voice dripping with incredulity. Has exile made him forget my strength? Very well, let him learn his place once more. Tara, Bali's wife and a woman of great wisdom, entered the chamber, her face calm but her eyes filled with concern. Though she was married to Bali, Tara had earned the respect and admiration of many in the kingdom for her fairness and insight. Her well-wishers often shared whispers of events happening beyond the palace walls. Bali, she said softly, yet firmly, I have heard things. Sugreev is not acting alone. He has found an ally, someone powerful and purposeful. This is not the same Sugreev you defeated before. You must approach this with caution. But Bali, blinded by his pride and deeply confident in the blessings of Indra and Brahma, dismissed her warning with a wave of his hand. Tara, your concern is misplaced. No ally, no matter how powerful, can make Sugreev my equal. Have you forgotten the strength of the pendant bestowed upon me by my father, Indra, or the boon from Brahma that ensures I gain strength from any adversary? There is no one who can defeat me. Tara stepped closer, her voice laced with urgency. Bali, arrogance is a dangerous companion. Even the strongest can fall if they underestimate their opponents. Sugreev would not return unless he believed he could succeed. Please, consider my words. Bali rose from his throne, towering and imposing. His face softened slightly as he looked at Tara. Your wisdom is admirable, Tara, but this is my battle to fight. Sugreev's challenge is an insult to my strength and honor. I must respond, and I will crush him as I have done before. Ignoring Tara's pleas, Bali stormed out of the palace, his towering presence commanding immediate attention. The Vanars lining the streets parted as their king marched toward the courtyard, his expression a mixture of confidence and fury. Sugreev stood in the open space, his fists clenched and his heart pounding. Though fear flickered within him, he held his ground, knowing that this moment was not just about reclaiming his throne, but about restoring justice and his dignity. Bali's voice thundered as he approached. So, little brother, you've returned. Have you forgotten the humiliation I dealt you last time? Or are you here to entertain me with another display of your weakness? Sugreev met Bali's gaze, his voice steady but laced with defiance. No, Bali, I have not forgotten. I remember the injustice, the betrayal, and the arrogance you wielded as a weapon against me. But today, it ends. I am here to claim what is rightfully mine. Bali smirked, his confidence unshaken. Prepare yourself, Sugreev. Once more, I will show you why you can never stand against me. The Vanars, watching from the edges of the courtyard, held their breath as the two brothers squared off, the tension crackling like lightning in the air. Unbeknownst to Bali, the powerful ally Tara had warned him about stood hidden in the distance, bow in hand, ready to uphold dharm and deliver justice. The stage was set, the players in position, and the duel that would shape the destiny of Kishkindha was about to begin. The courtyard of Kishkindha erupted with the clash of two brothers, their primal roars echoing through the forest. Bali charged at Sugreev with ferocious energy, his blows swift and devastating. Sugreev, though agile and determined, struggled to match the sheer power of his elder brother. The two Vanars moved like lightning, their strikes and counters shaking the very earth beneath them. Dust and leaves swirled in the air, and the onlookers gasped at the intensity of the duel. Bali's strength, bolstered by his divine pendant and blessings, seemed insurmountable. From a hidden vantage point in the trees, Ram observed the battle intently. His bow was drawn, his arrow ready, but his sharp eyes revealed the challenge he had not anticipated. Sugreev and Bali looked nearly identical. Both brothers moved with incredible speed, their forms a blur of fur and might. Every time Ram thought he had identified Sugreev, Bali's movements mirrored his brother's, throwing Ram into doubt. He gripped his bow tightly, his heart heavy with frustration. To strike without certainty would be to risk harming the innocent, a mistake Ram could not allow himself to make. As the battle raged on, it became clear that Bali's strength was overwhelming. Each strike he landed sent shockwaves through the ground, forcing Sugreev back. Despite his resolve, Sugreev's movements grew slower, his breaths labored. The effort to match Bali's relentless onslaught began to take its toll. Desperation crept into Sugreev's eyes as he glanced repeatedly toward the trees where Ram was hidden. Ram, he thought, please, help me. I cannot defeat him alone. But Ram, uncertain of which brother was which, remained still, his arrow lowered. He could only watch as Bali's blows landed with increasing ferocity, driving Sugreev to the brink of defeat. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, the duel raged on. Bali's strength showed no signs of waning, while Sugreev's energy was nearly spent. With one final, desperate effort, Sugreev broke away from Bali's grasp and retreated into the forest. Bali, confident in his dominance, laughed mockingly. Run, little brother, Bali roared. Hide in the shadows where you belong. Tomorrow, I will finish what I started. Sugreev stumbled back to the safety of Mount Rishamukha, his body battered and bruised, his spirit heavy with the weight of defeat. That evening, as the bruised and battered Sugreev sat in the safety of their refuge on Mount Rishamukha, His face reflected not just physical pain but also uncertainty. Ram, seated beside him, could sense the turmoil within him. Sugreev finally spoke, his voice hesitant and heavy with doubt. Ram, I must confess. I have my doubts. You promised to help me, to stand by me in this fight, yet today, I was left to face Bali alone. His strength overwhelmed me, and each time I looked toward the trees, hoping for your aid, none came. How can I trust that tomorrow will be any different? Hanuman, seated nearby, looked at Ram, his expression one of concern for both his king and his new ally. Ram, however, remained calm and composed. He placed a hand on Sugreev's shoulder and met his gaze with steady eyes. Sugreev, Ram began, his tone filled with understanding. I do not blame you for your doubts. You faced Bali with bravery today, and the toll it took on you was immense. But let me explain why I did not act. Ram leaned forward, his voice firm yet gentle. From my vantage point, it was impossible to distinguish between you and Bali. You and your brother are nearly identical in appearance and movement, especially in the heat of battle. I could not risk striking the wrong target. If my arrow had harmed you, it would have been a grave injustice, one I could never forgive myself for. Sugreev's expression softened as he listened, but he still asked, why not take the risk? Bali would have fallen, and the fight would have been over. Ram shook his head. No, Sugreev. A king must act with certainty and responsibility. My purpose is to uphold dharm, not to let haste or uncertainty lead to harm. Today's outcome, while painful, was necessary to ensure tomorrow's success. Hanuman, ever loyal to Sugreev, interjected with a smile. Sugreev, Ram's wisdom and restraint are why he is the ally you need. He does not act out of impulse or pride, but with thought and precision. That is the mark of a true leader. Ram continued, tomorrow, we will leave no room for confusion. Before the duel, you will wear a garland of flowers. This will clearly mark you, ensuring that I know who to protect and who to strike. I will watch closely from a distance, and when the time is right, my arrow will find its mark. Sugreev listened intently, his doubts beginning to fade. Ram, he said quietly, I questioned you because I was afraid, but now I see your wisdom. You acted not out of hesitation, but out of care. I trust you, and I will face Bali again tomorrow, knowing you will be there to help me. Ram nodded with a reassuring smile. Together, Sugreev, we will ensure justice is done. Bali's arrogance and wrongdoings will not go unanswered. As the stars filled the night sky, the air around them seemed to hum with renewed determination. Sugreev, though weary and bruised, felt a flicker of hope reignite within him. With Ram's unwavering support and their strategy set, he prepared to face his brother again, this time with the certainty that he was not alone. That night, as the moon cast a silvery glow over Kishkindha, Tara sat in her chambers, her mind restless. Known for her wisdom and intelligence, she had cultivated a network of loyal spies and informants throughout the kingdom. It was through these sources that she learned of a critical development. Sugreev had secured the support of the new allies, Ram and Lakshman, the princes of Ayodhya. The whispers were intriguing and unsettling. Ram is no ordinary prince, one informant reported. His valor is unmatched, and his bow is said to be divine. He is the very embodiment of dharm. Another added, Lakshman, his brother, is equally formidable, sharp, disciplined, and loyal. They are here to help Sugreev reclaim what was taken from him. Tara's heart sunk. She knew Bali's strength and arrogance, but the thought of him underestimating such powerful allies worried her deeply. As the first rays of dawn filtered through the palace windows, Tara approached Bali in the grand hall. Her face calm, but her eyes reflecting the weight of her thoughts. Bali, already preparing for the confrontation with Sugreev, glanced at her, his confidence evident in his every movement. My lord, Tara began, her tone measured but urgent. Before you step into battle today, I must speak with you. This conflict with Sugreev has gone on for too long. It has brought discord to the kingdom, and now, with Ram and Lakshman as his allies, the stakes have risen higher than ever. I urge you to consider another path, one of reconciliation and alliance. Bali raised an eyebrow, a hint of amusement on his face. Reconciliation? With Sugreev? Tara, after all that has happened, you think I should welcome him back with open arms? Tara stepped closer, her voice steady but firm. Yes, my lord. Sugreev is not just your brother, he is the rightful crown prince of Kishkindha. His exile has divided the Vanas, and his alliance with Ram could shift the balance of power. Ram is no ordinary ally. His reputation for dharm and valor is unparalleled. Joining hands with him and Sugreev could strengthen Kishkindha, bringing stability and ensuring the safety of our people. Bali's smile faded, and his tone grew sharper. Tara, you speak as if I am the villain in this tale. Have you forgotten how Sugreev betrayed me? He sealed me in that cave, took my throne, and sought to replace me. How can I trust him now? Tara, undeterred, pressed on. My lord, I do not deny the pain of the past. But think of Angad, our son. Do you wish for him to inherit a kingdom divided by conflict? An alliance with Sugreev and Ram could secure peace and prosperity for Angad's future. What greater gift could a father give his son than a united and stable kingdom? Bali's expression softened momentarily as Tara mentioned Angad, but his pride quickly reasserted itself. Tara, he said, his voice tinged with frustration, you are wise, and your devotion to peace is admirable. But you must understand, Sugreev's return would undermine my authority. The Vanas would see it as a sign of weakness, and my enemies would seize the opportunity to challenge me. And Ram, Bali continued, his tone now resolute. Though his reputation is great, his presence here is as an outsider. I cannot allow Kishkindha's future to depend on the alliances of foreign princes, no matter how noble they may be. This is my kingdom, and I must defend its sovereignty with my strength. Tara sighed, her shoulders sagging slightly as she realized Bali's pride and concern for his legacy had clouded his judgment. Yet her love and devotion for him remained unwavering. Very well, my lord, she said quietly. But remember this, strength without wisdom can lead to ruin. You must act not just for today, but for the future of our son and our people. Bali paused, her words lingering in the air, but his pride ultimately prevailed. I will face Sugreev as I always have, he declared. He will not defeat me, nor will his allies. When this is over, our kingdom will be stronger, and our enemies will think twice before challenging us. As Bali stormed out of the palace, his towering form a picture of confidence, Tara watched him go with a heavy heart. Though her words had not swayed him, her wisdom had been spoken. She remained resolute in her devotion to the greater good, silently praying that the confrontation would end without tearing the kingdom further apart. In her heart, Tara knew she had done all she could to guide Bali. Her love for him and her vision for peace in Kishkindha reflected not just her wisdom, but also her role as a devoted queen and mother. Even as she prepared for the day ahead, she could not help but pray that Bali would one day understand the truth of her words. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the palace, Ruma overheard Tara's conversation with Bali. Her heart swelled with mixed emotions, sadness for the pain and humiliation she had endured, but also pride in her husband, Sugreev. As she thought about Sugreev standing up to Bali, not just for her, but for his honor and dharm, Ruma felt a sense of satisfaction. Sugreev, she whispered to herself, you have endured so much, yet you rise again. To face Bali, knowing his strength and arrogance, is an act of courage that few would dare. I am proud to call you my husband. Her eyes glistened with hope and pride. She knew the stakes were immense, but the thought of Sugreev reclaiming his rightful place gave her a glimmer of solace amidst her pain. As the morning sun climbed higher, the air in Kishkindha was thick with anticipation. Bali, confident and unshaken, marched toward the courtyard for the second duel, his mind fixed on asserting his dominance once more. Sugreev, bolstered by Ram's unwavering support, readied himself for the confrontation. The garland of flowers around his neck marked him clearly, ensuring no confusion this time. Ram and Lakshman stood hidden at a vantage point, their bows drawn, prepared to strike when the moment was right. The stage was set, the combatants in place, and the air crackled with the tension of what was to come. This time, the battle would not end in retreat, but in justice.
In this episode, we witnessed the intense preparations for the duel between Bali and Sugreev, a battle not just of strength, but of pride, justice, and redemption. Ram's wisdom and compassion guided Sugreev as they devised a plan to confront Bali, while Tara's unwavering devotion to peace and her foresight highlighted her role as a wise and compassionate queen. We delved into Bali's unshakable pride, his blessings from the gods, and his refusal to heed Tara's counsel to seek reconciliation. Yet through Tara's words, we were reminded of the enduring value of humility, alliances, and the greater good. Ruma's silent pride in Sugreev's courage showed the depth of love and strength that binds families even amidst strife. This episode revealed that while strength and blessings can empower an individual, it is wisdom, humility, and dharm that ultimately define greatness. The alliances and decisions made in moments of adversity hold the power to reshape destinies and restore balance to the world. Join me in the next episode as we witness the climactic duel between Bali and Sugreev, a moment that will determine the fate of Kishkindha and bring justice to the Vanar kingdom. Share this podcast with your loved ones and let the timeless lessons of the Ramayan inspire your journey. Though the details of this ancient tale may vary across traditions, its essence reminds us of the enduring power of friendship, courage, and righteousness. Until next time, may the light of dharm illuminate your path and fill your heart with peace.